resellers, time for another SuperSize sales video. The sales are from October 2025 and they come from my Facebook group where we have a dedicated thread every month, so make sure you are posting your $100 and over sales in the right place so I can find them for these videos. Sellers like these videos not only because of what's sold, but also pay attention to the details because many items are found in the trash, on the side of the road, and or the items are visibly damaged, broken, or apparently unusable. But as we under the radar hunter gatherers, we know better. So we are going to jump in with Picky Old Fuss Budget, aka Paula. And this was back in October. She says, I bought this gift wrap along with two other similar rolls at a hoarder house sale while visiting our daughter in South Carolina for $2 each. I took a best offer of $100 on this one within a few hours of listing. I was fortunate that this was sitting neatly on a shelf and I could see them. Most rooms that you could get to were dark and some were piled almost to the ceiling without a path. So the item is vintage department store wrapping paper, huge roll of gift wrap with Christmas trees. So she got this for $2 and took an offer of $100 on just this one. Sarah Amick paid $1.99 at Salvation Army, listed for $200 based on comps, had up for a few months and took a $100 offer. Interestingly, I had been buying these puzzles for a family member, but started looking them up as some are worth money, especially the Seasonal Splendor line. I found one really similar to this and was bummed it wasn't this high value. Walked into Salvation Army the next week about to check out, and this was on the bottom shelf. Couldn't believe it because I knew the value from my prior research. So the item is Charles Wysocki Fork in the Road 1,000 piece puzzle. And the line again is Seasonal Splendor. So she took a $100 offer on this puzzle. Tiffany Takao got this lot of Cabbage Patch dolls free from a local group. The lady was so happy that someone wanted them. Sold for $100 in about 2 months. Cabbage Patch dolls, lot of 7, Koosa's Cat 1983 Xavier Roberts clothes lamb outfit. So a lot going on in this listing. This was a free item that sold for $100. Andrew Silveroli, super random item. It is represented as artwork but doubles as a heater. I took a moderate gamble and bought it from Goodwill for $15.98. It took about 11 months and I accepted an offer of $100 even, as well as $15 fixed additional to chip in for shipping. So $115 total sale. 1980s Aztec Radiant plug-in art wall heater. Yes, that is quite a random item. Okay, Tamarin Smith McClure, free to me, sold for $100 plus shipping in less than a week. Vintage AC Delco batteries, metal hanging sign, double-sided, 24 by 17 and a half. So just your basic metal sign, sold for $100 even. Okay, Jane Tyson. I got this beautiful bowl at an estate sale clean out for just $1.16. It took almost 2 years to sell, but it sold for full asking price of $109.49 plus shipping. So Jane, your check art glass lotus bowl pink star 8.5 diameter item and your patience gets you the Patience Award, waiting for 2 years for an item to sell. So this is proof that never give up on anything because everything sells eventually. Bill Hunt bought at a packed estate sale on closing day. I paid $60 for a large pile of stuff, so this probably works out to under $5. Sold in under a week for $109.93. And it is a vintage 1980s cheerleader uniform, gold, white, blue pleated skirt. How about that as a blast from the past? $5, sold for $109.93. Craig Jones, vintage Christmas alert here, paid $3 at a garage sale which I stopped at on my way to work. Sold for full asking price in 5 days. Busilla hot air balloon with Santa in the basket tree skirt. It had stains, but I called them out on the listing. Buyer was thrilled. Love picking up an extra 100 on the way to work. So there you can see it is a completed Busilla vintage Christmas tree skirt. Great pick. Courtney Feiselman. I found this with some broken dog tails and chips at the Goodwill bins. Took an offer of $110 after a month of it being listed. Buyer paid shipping. So she found one of those Danbury mint lighted Christmas trees with the dogs. This one is the poodle theme, and she even put in her title, "No star, needs help, chips." So this is an example of an imperfect item, slightly damaged but repairable, and it still sold for $110. Steve Gittler. Funny story, I think. I went to an estate sale last week. In the garage, a couple of guys were looking at these and chatting with one of the sale employees about how stores used to use these and how they remember the clerk standing there pricing every item before there were barcodes and scanners. Then they walked away. I walked over, took a look at them, asked how much they were if I bought them all, and walked out with 5 brand new old stock label guns for $20. 2 days after listing them, this buyer bought 4 for $115, and shortly after that, another buyer bought the 5th one for $31.95. I turned my $20 into $146.95 in a couple of days. The item is Monarch 1110 Labeler Price Sticker, new in box. Yes, I remember those and seeing the grocery store employees with like a flat of cans and they're just putting those stickers on them as fast as they can go. So, yeah, we've come a long way. Amy Bryant Hutchinson. This ornament was in damaged box, but the stand for it hadn't even been used and had the paperwork inside. This sold in about 2 days. I listed it for $149.99 and in under 24 hours, and having only one listed, got a first offer of $110 plus shipping. I countered at $135. Next day, from a different buyer in a different location, I got a $125 offer. Because again, I was the only seller. I countered at $135. Within about 3 hours, accepted and sold and paid. I got in a bulk lot of items I paid $10 for. The small lot paid for this lot sale plus. Thank you, Suzanne, for all you do. Oh, you're very welcome. So this is a University of Notre Dame 2018 Across the Lake annual brass ornament, boxed. And this sold for $135. Monica Lima. We were visiting my mother-in-law last week on Cape Cod. We stopped by an estate sale where I picked up these antique brass Chinese stirrups for $3. They sold in a couple of days for 145. So there you can see set of two antique Chinese Tibetan cast brass cloisonne horse stirrups equestrian. Well, that is very unusual. Yes, $145. On that sale, item only cost $3. Next up is Tina DeVore. This was a letter written early during the Civil War describing a training camp in Tennessee. It was part of downsizing my mom's collections. It sold in about a week after listing for full price of $149.95 and happy to see it return to the area where it originated. Her title is Confederate Civil War Letter, one page, Camp Chatham, Tennessee, May 1861, James Ship. Well, I'm so glad you rehomed that and got it in the hands of someone who would appreciate it. So much ephemera paper stuff is just trashed. So nice to see that this was rescued and sent on to its new owner. Okay, Carol Hollis. I had never run into these, so I used Google Lens real quick at a Thursday morning yard sale. The only result was a worth point page. I don't have a subscription, but that gave me a clue it was rare. I asked how much, and she said, "What's your offer?" Not really sure what it was worth, and being kind of cheap, I said $1. Also, it had cobwebs and needed to be wiped down. She was hesitant and asked her yard sale helper how much she wanted, and she said $3, so we settled on $2. Like I said, no comp on eBay, so I couldn't see the worth point price either, so I priced it from another seat preserver on the high end. Sold overnight for full price plus shipping. It is a vintage Ben Sun Marlin boat cushion life preserver. So what'd you say, $2? And it sold for $150. Brett Stewart bought this a few weeks ago at a yard sale. Owner said it was left by a hoarder when they bought their home. This was in a box full of decanters. Paid under $1 for this. I was asking $189.99 and took a best offer of $161. Vintage Empoli Cobalt Blue 22-inch Genie Diamond bottle with matching stopper. What a beautiful item. And so it was $1 and he sold it for $161. George Kelly bought this silver icon at a garage sale for $14. Accepted a best offer of $169. Took a month to sell. Vintage 950 sterling silver Greek icon Byzantine mother and child. What a beautiful pick. $14 sold for $169. Danielle Lee found this at a local thrift store. Paid 50 cents. Sold on offers to Likers for $176 plus shipping. Took about a month to sell. The item is a Rolex tie. Beautiful green iconic crown logo pattern. 50 cents into $176. Julie Gambino purchased a couple of years ago. Don't remember how much, but definitely no more than $10. Sold for best offer of $185. Worth the wait for the right buyer. Vintage Meiselman Imports Pheasant Soup Tureen Ladle Pottery, Italy. So I guess it's a soup tureen, has the ladle with it. Anyway, $185. And Julie, I commend you on your patience in selling this. She didn't say if it was listed for 2 years ago. She said it was purchased a couple of years ago. Okay, Laura Baker picked up this beautiful Holland ceramic Christmas tree from an estate sale in March for $40. Took several months of low offers and people reaching out trying to get a lower shipping cost. Something out of our control as sellers. Finally sold a couple of days ago for $189.99 plus shipping. It is a vintage Holland mold ceramic 18-inch white iridescent Christmas tree with lights and base. Beautiful item. You don't see the white ones very often. So this was $40 and she sold it for $189.99. Moving on to Terry Lewis Bishop. My husband spotted this while we were out at a yard sale. I paid $5 and it sold in one day for $195 with free shipping. This is a Boss handheld controller, snowplow, smart touch, and then a whole bunch of model numbers. So, an electronic thingy. And this was $5, sold for $195. Bill Hunt. I pay special attention to boring looking boxes in estate sale garages and yard sales. And side note, that's why this item is in this video because things in boring looking boxes can be profitable. Anyway, Bill says many people pass right by them, but taking the time to open them up and take a look can pay off. Got this pump at an estate sale for $5, sold for $199.93 in 2 weeks. So this is some type of circulation pump and he's got all the model numbers on there. So $5 into almost 200 in just a couple of weeks. Ginger Lampright has been busy cleaning out their motorcycle gear. She said this was my helmet, listed on 9/12/25, sold for full asking price plus shipping in a little over a month. And it is a Schuberth Pro helmet, women's pearl white, on and on keywords. So she sold this for $200 and it's just something they're not using anymore. Zachary McDore, our garbage man philosopher. A box of medical tools that I found in the metal bin at the landfill. His title is Orthopedic Surgical Instruments, large lot of drills, bits, etc. So this was in the landfill. He pulled it out and put it on eBay and walked away with $202.50. Susie Palmer Grant. I was thrilled to spot this gem in Goodwill a few weeks ago. It was beautiful and I only paid $5.43. It sold in about 3 weeks for $224.86 plus shipping. These are definitely a BOLO. Yes, they are. Vintage Filson Mackinac Cruiser Chore Coat, wool, buffalo plaid. $5 into $224.86. That is a beautiful pick. Marlene Ward, the horse lady. Free to me, listed for 2 months and wanted to move inventory. Put it on 40% sale plus flat rate shipping. Sold for $225 plus $20 shipping. It is an Oster Professional Clipmaster variable speed clipper. You try saying that 5 times fast. So it's for animals. Sold for $225. Okay, Nicole Gray Diaz Paid $150 for an entire lot of vintage, new in the box Teddy Ruxpin and his friends and accessories. It was from a man whose parents bought it all for him when he was born, but never let him play with them. Already made money back and profit, so all other items will be gravy. Title is Teddy Ruxpin Original 1985 Worlds of Wonder. $275. She paid $150. Denise Haley bought a flat of wallets and sunglasses for $6 on an online estate auction. All of those ended up being duds, but I unzipped a tiny pouch and found this inside. Winner! I accepted a $300 offer after 1 week of being listed. So these are some ultra light hearing aids. The right one only. Okay. So this was less than $6. Well, no, I guess she allocated a cost of $6 to this because everything else in that lot was no good. And sold this for $300. So yeah, you never know what's in those little pockets and pouches. So sometimes it's money, sometimes it's things you can turn into money. Okay, Laura Baker has another one. I bought a Littlest Pet Shop carrying case filled with LPS pets for $20 at a yard sale in late August. I sold almost all of them already for $20 to $40 each, but these two in particular sold for $300. They are from a rare Target exclusive set and sold within a couple of days of listing. So she's got the Littlest Pet Shop and then the numbers that are on those. So these two sold for $300. Leisha Rouston bought this bow and arrows set from the last day of an estate sale in July for $100, which was half price, in July. Finally listed it October 8th for $500. Got a starting offer of $225, and after a couple of back and forth offers, we settled on $345 plus shipping. Sold on October 21st. So $100 into $345. This is Bear Archery 1953 Tamerlane right-handed recurve bow, arrows, wood, and target. So that was a nice flip. Okay, Bill Hunt has another one. He's in these videos a lot because he sells such a variety of items. So he loves these lamps. As he says, I love a good swag lamp, and this one is my best find to date. So that's why it's in the video. Best find to date. Paid $75 at an estate sale and sold for $383.93 after 3.5 months. Vintage, mid-century, chunky lucite swag lamp, tiki bar, exotica, fame, floral, moody. Okay, lots of good keywords there. $75 into almost $400. Zandra Ritter paid $2 at a garage sale, sold on 5-day auction for $443 shipped. Superman 10 Lunchbox Vintage Robot Superhero 1954 Metal Collectible. Okay, $2 at a garage sale. Good for you, Zandra. Walked away with $443 including shipping. Okay, Zach McDore has another one. I found this book in a box of old Louis L'Amour paperbacks at the landfill. It included a fold-out map of the United States in 1846 with the various Indian territories marked. So it was free to him. The title is Mitchell's National Map and Route Book of 1846 Fold-Out Map, Steamboats, Railroads. And this sold for $565, and he pulled it out of the landfill. Donna Warren, congratulations. This is her very best eBay sale to date. Purchased the contents of a China Hutch drawer for $80. It had a couple of sets of flatware and several mix and match serving pieces as well. The gal said it was mostly stainless and silver plate. I knew I could sell the stainless for 200 plus. Got it home, and to my shock, there was a sterling set of flatware in the mix, 39 pieces. So I did a little research, listed it for $2,250, and received and took an offer of $2,010 within 5 minutes. I probably should have priced higher because of the price of silver being way up, but I'm very happy with my purchase and decision. And so, congratulations, Diana, on your biggest sale ever. Wallace Sterling, Sir Christopher, that must be the pattern, 39 pieces, 8 place setting with extras. And I'm going to give you the fastest sale award because you said it sold within 5 minutes. So, congratulations on that. And we will end with Maggie May, paid $6 at a thrift store. After researching, I decided to auction because I wasn't sure what I had. Started at $175 on a 10-day auction. I was excited. My item sold for $4,656. Fun fact, eBay doesn't offer international shipping for items over $2,500. I'm going to have to apply for several governmental numbers for the customs form to be able to ship this to Hong Kong. No, I did not know there was a limit on the dollar value of what can be shipped through eBay's program, so that's good to know. And Maggie, you get the Best in Show award. Because this is an amazing sale, an amazing find, and congratulations to you. Okay, that wraps up this last $100 SuperSize video for 2025. Thank you for sticking with me to the end, and I'm wishing all of you a happy, healthy, and prosperous 2026. Bye, everybody.